Shalom, shalom. I want to start off. Call hello, Allah, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Harachak, Kodash, Barakatah, Salakia. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and sincerity and risking their lives and their freedom to do so. More than that, Salakia, Shalom. Now more than ever, as far as risking their lives and their freedom. With all that's going on, the times that we're going into, shalom to the confusion of faith brethren that's joined onto our ranks, as well as those that we're hoping to join onto our ranks. Shalom to the Akim and Aqua out there listening and learning. To you, I say shalom, Lord willing, Adawan Ratazah. This is an edifying lesson. This is the brother Yawasap out of GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant, coming at you with another lesson. This time, I'm pretty much staying on the same thing right now because it's deemed the year of the Karagma. So I've been doing a lot of lessons on, beast technology, the chip, just transhumanism. And I came across this book. I'm gonna show Slocky. I'm gonna show what the book looks like. Book is called Trumpopolis, the end times president battle against the global elite and the countdown to Armageddon by this guy, Paul McGuire and Troy Anderson. And Slovakia, they get a chance to clean up yet, so bear with me. Akim, the house ain't filthy, but I got a third shift job, so I make the little pallet, but that's neither here nor there. You know what I mean? Like I said, cleanliness is next to godliness, and although it's not completely clean, it's not completely filthy either. Like I said, I just woke up because at the end of the day, weird. It was a decree by the head of our camp that we have to do a lesson on the Sabbath. So just trying to be in the spirit and follow all the decrees. It's funny because I was listening to the brother in DTA. Although they don't claim themselves claim well they give all glory and honor and you know salutations and to the elders that told them the truth, but they don't. They're DTA, and I just I've listened to them over the years, like since I've come into the truth. I just heavily start listening to him. Long story short, though, he was the elder was Slocky, the leader of that camp, the guy that started that camp. I don't know his name, but I know what he looks like when I see him. Like I said, just in this thing, it's certain brothers that you gravitate to because the spirit, I guess, works with them. They speak a little bit more eloquently, or you can relate to them more. That's just like how men are. Period. Anyway, like you relate to a guy because of the fact, he might be cut somewhat similar to you. You know what I mean? Like y'all have had similar experiences and whatnot. Long story short, he was saying how Jake, we have an issue with follow directions. We do though. We take the time to think about it. I mean, not laughing at it because but at the same time, you gotta laugh at this thing to a certain extent. And that's one of our biggest problems when you take the time to think about it. We was given the law, statutes, and commandments. He was going into how the Bible, not anagram, but acronym for basically Salakia, basic instructions before leaving Earth. He's like, this is the instruction book that the Most High left for us. Man, if you follow the scripts, you should be cool. Which is true, what I mean? Like, because everything is in the scripts. What I mean? Everything that you go through or could possibly happen down here, for the most part, is in the scripts. What I mean? Defiled food. When you take time to think about it, we're eating defiled food. I mean, it's just a lot to make you feel like, God damn, you know what I mean? Like, what I mean? It's deep, and I ain't trying to be all over the place. What I mean? I just was thinking about some things the brother was saying. But my point being, not to digress, he was saying we as a people don't follow directions, and we don't. But like I said, this book, this Trumpopolis, isn't a bad read, but at the same time, it's funny how Esau is. Esau will give you some truth and then give you a lie like right afterwards. Or Esau, because this book tells a lot of truth, but at the same time, it's like I don't know if he's like Trump buddy or whatnot because he's literally. Well, in the end, he said, he wondered if God set Trump up for these times for a reason because he's trying to go. Well, it's not just one person. It's actually two guys that actually wrote this book. They actually have another book. I think it's called the Babylon Code. That's like part one, and then this Trumpopolis is part two to I guess that same ongoing series. And this book tells a lot of truth. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like I don't know. I don't know if people just be that naive or if it's just they call themselves being slick, and maybe a little bit of both. But at the same time, he made a statement. He wondered if the Most High was with Trump because he tried to say that Trump is in with the elites, and for you to even think or say some shit like that makes you like you don't have a fucking clue. But at the same time, I pretty much read the whole book. At the end, the last chapter I'm not going to read because he really, like I said, well they are really making statements as far as they thinking that like well I'm gonna give you a subtitle. Like one of the chapters is called "Last Trump or Nineveh Moment." So it says when Billy Graham goes to heaven. So just with a statement like that, it says when Billy Graham goes to heaven. Now, if you ever done any research, and that's the beautiful thing about this thing, the further you get into it, the Most High turns a lot of brothers into like Inspector. Well, Inspector Gadget was shitty. It was Penny that was actually, you know what I mean. But he actually puts a detective spirit on you because you know what I mean. Like you get to go and you into unraveling. Well, it ain't you doing it; it's the Most High doing it. You know what I mean? But my point being, if Billy Graham was a Mason, you know what I mean. That's why he was always rubbing elbows with these top elites. I can't think of the lady name. I think her name is Kathy Burns. She wrote a book called the Illustrated Masonic. It's something along that line. She's wrote a few different books. Uh, you can't get a copy of this book. It's hard to find it in print. I think it's like the Masonic, the occult Masonic or the Masonic occult illustrated book or something like that. Roughly paraphrase it. And long story short, it talks about a lot of different symbolism and how the core system is set up on masonry and witchcraft. And, it's a decent read. It's an older book. And like I said, I've been trying to get this book since I've been in the truth. And like I said, you probably can order it. I don't know if it's like how you got certain books that go back to our history that they want to try and charge, like how that book Who is Esau Edom, they want $700, $800 for. You know what I mean? Which at the same time, people that's Esau trying to actually control shit, but at the same time, books when they're rare are expensive. But that's an older book. You would think that would be, but I've never seen that book over like $30. You know what I mean? Anyhow, she wrote a book about Billy Graham and exposing how he's a Mason and whatnot. So for this person, well, these people to actually even put that in there just shows either they're full of shit, they run a game, or they're really naive. But there is some good chapters in this book. Like for one, it's a chapter called the Economic Reset. So basically moving in the spirit, I said, well, I'll do a lesson on this chapter. So I'm going to read from the chapter, and I'm also going to bring out a few scriptures. One that comes to the mind, because like I said, this economic reset is going into that beast system. So I'm going to start with Revelations 13. I'm going to start at verse 1. Revelations 13:1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the names of blasphemy. So those 7 heads are 7 nations. You know what I'm saying? So this is when you go into NATO and all that, it's more than 7, because at the end of the day, Esau and these people try to upset prophecy. That's why the whole space race and all this thing. You know what I mean? Where they're trying to, like with the ordinances, they're trying to basically get out of their judgment. Verse 2, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. Verse 3, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. And that deadly wound that was healed was the, revised Roman Empire. You know what I mean? Because Rome was wounded, and now it's healed because America is just a revised Roman Empire. When you go into the history of that, a lot of things that are in America are based off of Roman empires. The architecture, just as far as the Democrats and the Republicans, I can't say I can't never, but I have trouble pronouncing the names of the Senate in ancient Rome. I think it's like Flavians, Patricians, or something like that. And then you had Caesar, which was like the president, and our modern day president is like a Caesar. So a lot of the things that's in America are based off of Roman. I just read that for I can't remember if I read it in this book or where I read it at. I read a lot, so man. And then with all the stimuli I get, sometimes not to say that my memory is completely shitty, but you know what I mean. At the same time, with so much different stuff I'll be going through and doing and trying to take care of, sometimes I misplace or forget where I read things. I'm trying to start making a notebook, like pertinent information I just compile into one notebook. Verse 4, and they worshiped the dragon which gave power unto the beast, and they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with them? Verse 5, and there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. Verse 6, and he opened his mouth and blasphemies against Yahweh, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. Verse 7, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints. Who are the saints? The saints are, the Israelites. It tells you multiple scriptures. I think Psalms 147. I think Psalms 149. And to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. Verse 8. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundations of the world. And I will stop right there. So this is chapter 9 in the book, the Trumpopolis. Chapter 9, the economic reset. Essentially, what we believe is needed is a reset of the way in which the economy grows around the world. The final reset is the structural reforms that we have been calling for, not just in advanced economies, but also in emerging market economies. That's the set of measures that could reset going forward. That was a quote by Christine Lagarde, Managing Director, International Monetary Fund, so the IMF. Who controls the insurance? Salakia. Who controls the issuance of money controls the government. Nathan Meyer Rothschild, son of the founder of Rothschild banking dynasty. It says in early 2014, International Monetary Fund Managing Director Christine Lagarde delivered a speech at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C., making enigmatic statements, even using the term magic and talking about numerology. Pundits labeled concerned about her speech as conspiracy theories, but occult experts believe she was subtly communicating a message on behalf of the elite regarding the future of the global financial system. A couple of weeks later, during a Bloomberg interview at the World Economic Forum, she spoke on why it's important to reset the global economy. To understand what she meant, think of what happens when you reset a computer. You reboot the system from scratch. Resetting the global economy means shutting down the old economic system with fiat currencies and and rebooting up to a cashless society with microchip implants. That's the spirit. Here we are reproducing intact part of Lagarde Bloomberg's interview. While you may find the language and references somewhat confusing, the import is stunningly clear. I'm gonna stop there.